Vanity of vanities. Kohelet says, vanity of vanities, everything in this life, everything in this world is fleeting, and everything is vanity. My dear brothers and sisters, do you know someone who is simply living for pleasure? Eat, drink, and be merry because tomorrow you will die. This is the philosophy of good living. But what would that look like to you? What kind of things would you imagine this type of person was pursuing? The word that we may use to describe this type of person is the word hedonist. Who is a hedonist? A hedonist is someone whose main goal in life is pleasure. A hedonist is someone whose main aim in life is happiness. Hedonism has become one of the more dominant influences in our modern life. How many times have we heard people say, I want to be happy, or do whatever will make you happy, or do what makes you feel good, because life is short, life is fleeting. Some of us will probably say, is there anything wrong with being happy? Doesn't God want us to be happy? But my dear brothers and sisters, the goal of life is not only pleasure, or what the world considers pleasurable or pleasure-producing. There is, yes, pleasure in alcohol, pleasure in accomplishments, pleasure in travels, pleasure in acquisitions, pleasure in amusement, pleasure here, there, and everywhere. This morning, may I invite you to reflect with me about the pursuit of pleasure, which is the main theme of the first reading from the book of Ecclesiastes, or from the book of Kohelet. It says, vanity of vanities, everything is vanity. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, the ear is not satisfied with hearing. Vanity of vanities, all things are vanity. What does the book of Kohelet tell us? Walang kabuluhan. Walang kabuluhan ang lahat ng bagay. Lahat ay walang kabuluhan. Anong pakinabang ng tao sa lahat ng kanyang ginagawa sa ilalim ng araw? Vanity of vanities is a superlative expression. That means there is utter emptiness. There is utter meaninglessness, utter pointlessness, utter senselessness, utter worthlessness is the kind of happiness and satisfaction that life on earth brings. Nobody on earth feels fully happy. Nobody in this life will feel fully satisfied. Everything on earth is fleeting. Everything is quickly passing. Things are short-lived. Things are ephemeral. Lahat ng bagay ay lumilipas. Lahat ng bagay ay kumukupas. I remember a certain author who said that the possessions of mortals are also mortal because only God is immortal. Thus, that is why it says, vanity of vanities. Vanity means futility. Everything is for nothing. Power, it is fleeting. Popularity is fleeting. Positions, prestige, pleasure, nothing can fill the void in our life except God. Do you think the purpose of life is found in wealth, or in nature, or in money, or in self-indulgence, or in property, or in position? Do you think the purpose of life is found in intelligence? Do you think it is found in philosophy? St. Augustine reminds us of something very important. St. Augustine says, and I quote, "Our hearts are restless until they rest in God." Yes, my dear friends, man lives in a world riddled with vanity, with futility, with frustration. Man chose to become self-centered and self-conceited and self-guided rather than God-centered and God-guided. That is why man became earthbound. That is why man became frustrated. That is why man is bored. Man is lonely because he thinks in terms of what is present instead of what is the future. Man thinks of terms like what is temporary instead of what is everlasting. The biblical verse, therefore, is about purpose. It is important for us to understand what is the purpose of God in my life. What is the purpose of God in your life? What happens when we do not understand God's purpose, or what some people have called the meaning of life? If there is no purpose in life, why live it? If nothing really matters, why bother? Why make the effort? Life without meaning is useless if there is no purpose attached to it. I remember St. Paul in one of his letters who said, "The love of money is the root of all evil." But a certain philosopher modified the statement a bit by saying, "No, it is not the love of money that is the root of all evil." So what is it then? It is the lust for money that is the root of all evil. And still another said, "No, it is not the love of money that is the root of all evil. It is not the lust for money that is the root of all evil. It is the lack of money that is the root of all evil." Whatever it is, my dear friends, today God is challenging all of us because all of us live in a world where there is pleasure, here, there, and everywhere. St. Augustine again said, "Where your pleasure is, there is your treasure. Where your treasure is, there is your heart. And where your heart is, there is your happiness." We ask, where is your heart? Where is my heart? Your greatest treasure is what you love the most. Because in the Gospel of Matthew it says, "For where your treasure is, there is your heart." My dear brothers and sisters, Jesus is the summum bonum. Jesus is the highest good. Jesus is the pearl of great price.